Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Everything Under the Sun. I want to introduce my co-host for today.
Hey, y'all, I'm Ro.
And Ro, please tell us how long you've been teaching.
So I am actually on my fourth year teaching.
But how long you've been in the education field?
I want to say definitely started back in 2014. 2014.
Wow, I was still in college.
Yeah, I was still in college too. I started off in I started off in aftercare.
Really?
And that's where, because originally I wanted to do... I don't know what I wanted to do at that point. I was just going to school.
You just wanted a job.
I definitely wanted... I was at a call center. I got fired. So, my cousin was the director. So, she was like, yo, if you need a job, I got you. And then doing it is when I was like, okay, I think I like this.
Got the hang of it.
I got the hang of it, yeah.
So, today's episode, we're actually talking about the pros and the bullshit of teaching. Now, before we go into that, I kind of wanted to, you said you've been a teacher for 4 years, but I feel like every person that's in the education system should just count those years automatically. Because you were still dealing with kids some shape or form.
Yes.
So, add that on.
So, 10 years.
Yes.
10 years. In
wow.
The field, yeah.
They should put that on with our bonus.
They should have. But, because you're not full-time at that time. They don't count. They still should.
So let's get back to it. As many teachers are leaving this profession, let's go over the pros and the bullshit, right? So I wish I had this video, when I was thinking about teaching, because it's like when you're going into a restaurant, you want to see the pros and the cons of actually doing it. And I feel like people don't really talk about it. So today we're going to talk about it. Yes, being a teacher for me is kind of it's such a rewarding job.
To a certain extent.
But, if don't do it because it's for the money.
Because it ain't. It is not. It will pay a bill, not all of them.
And if they tell you get your master's, you're gonna get more money.
Don't do the education now.
Don't do it. So if you want to actually help the next generation grow and become a great mentor and just educating them more on just the subject at hand, then this is a job for you. But you still need to know what are the pros. We're not going to say con. We're going to say bullshit. Okay? All right. So, now this is only for the pros and cons of our state, which is Florida. It's different in every other country or every other state that I've known, but I know many friends, and you probably do too. A lot of pros and a lot of bullshit are kind of the same. So, without further ado, and if we say any pros and cons, because we're both gonna it's going to be a conversation as to what is our pros and our cons, because it could be very different between each of us. Yes, we're in the same grade, but we're totally different subjects. So if you know any pros and cons teachers out there, please comment below, because we need to know that there's more of us than there are of them. So we're here, and let's get started. So my pro, right? One of the biggest pro that most people know is, the breaks, because we're on one right now. And I like those breaks.
I love them, because I actually sat down one time, because that's what I do in the beginning of every school year, is sit down and look at the dates we're going to have off, and I calculate, because on day one, I'm coming to you and telling you 194 to go. Because it is the hardest part of teaching, one of the hardest parts, is waking up. To know this is the bullshit you're going to deal with throughout the day.
Here we go again.
The bullshit. So I calculated it down to, we work 195 days out of the year.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. So that's the biggest pro out there right now. That's the biggest pro, because we're really not going to find another career that gives us so much time off with the pay, but at the end of the day, we deserved it. With all that we do like 10 different jobs.
Listen, you know what? I saw a post. It was like, if you want to actually pay me what I deserve, and then they saw the pay rate of a babysitter.
It's like the same.
It's 6 figures. If we was to go based off the rate and the time, because you got to go amount of kids times the hour. So if it's $10 per kid per hour, you got 30 kids. That's already $300.
Yep.
And then times 8, that is
300 times 8, 24,000.
2,400. 2,400.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one day.
Yeah.
That's one day.
Now, times that out of the 195, that's math for another day.
No, because we also get paid for the time that we're off.
Right.
So technically, it's all year.
Yeah.
So 360.
They won't. But, you know, what's a fun fact that not a lot of people know? And I know only because I have family in counties. Mm-hmm. So when you're subbing for a class, this is where the bullshit comes into play. And it's a fun fact. When you're not subbing for a class, but say your next door teacher is running late or just decides not to show up today. For every student that you have in your class, because you know they got to split the class, for every student you have extra in your class that does not belong to you at that time, not on that roster, you're supposed to get paid.
That's the bullshit.
That's the bullshit. About. But they won't.
They won't.
They will not do it.
But you know, when we split the class, is 9 times out of 10, it's for our own people. Right. So I don't mind having those extra kids.
I don't. But I don't. Like, I'm always there to help.
We need that. We need that extra.
Yeah.
Cash.
So it's
they don't want to do it.
I don't know if you've seen the video. It's a TikTok video, and it's a supervisor asking an employee to train someone for free.
Oh my God, the lady!
Right? I don't mind doing it. I really don't mind.
Get an extra compensation.
Pay a bill. Do something.
And then she was like, "We're a family." She was like, "Well, Mom, are you gonna pay for my phone bill?" Hello?
Pay something.
Pay something. All right. Also getting presents from students. Now, I did just speak to a friend of mine that she works in Miami-Dade schools. Mm-hmm. Her school, like, mind you, her school, when she be telling me about her school, I'll be like, what? All the teachers have iPads. All the kids have iPads. They have even the pencil.
Really?
They have they're about to get MacBooks. They're about to get MacBooks. So they're an Apple school, but no students gave her a present.
Why?
No students gave her a present. Now, I'm thinking maybe they don't like her.
It's probably they don't like her, because I get some nice presents. This one student, God bless her soul, 2 times in a row for teacher appreciation and for Christmas last year, she gave me 2 Pandora charms.
Oh. I had a student give me a guest necklace.
Nice.
Now, I can't really wear it because I'm allergic to stainless steel. But it was the thought that counts.
It's the thought. I have a Michael Kors bracelet from a student, my first year teaching. Mm-hmm. Her mom, and it was first year where I actually started teaching, COVID year. So, you know, we started off the school year online. So it was really easy for me. I would think a lot of people say it was hard because I didn't have to get thrown in. Because, you know, they don't walk you in your first day.
I loved it. I loved it. Working from home. I was done by 2.
No. See, you was working from home. I was actually in the school, in the empty old classroom. By myself.
Even when I was in school, I had like 4 kids in my face.
Yeah, so it was a small, and then we had the chance to like tell the parents, hey, let's, you know, bring certain students got to come because, you know, they're not participating. And that was a student I had a really hard time with, but that's the one at the end of the year. Her mom sent in a Michael Kors bracelet for me to thank her.
And how that made you feel?
It made me feel great. I felt appreciated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like, wow, my first year I thought I would have... The students appreciate you a whole lot more. Well, a good 20-30% appreciate you a whole lot more than actual admin. And that's sad.
Now, every day is different. Oh, God. Every day is different. You are not going to be bored.
Nope.
I'll tell you that.
Upset, possibly, but bored.
Tired.
Definitely.
Tired.
Definitely.
Tired.
If you make a checklist for the day, put tired at top, and you could just go ahead and check it off.
But you ain't gonna be bored.
No.
Getting work before 5. I love being home like 4 o'clock, 4:30. I be racing.
Like, what time get home today?
Listen, we come home, I'm chilling.
Mm-hmm.
I see traffic. No, not me, sir. I could go to my appointments if I need to.
Yep.
Also, I have a kid. Being in school with my kid.
Yes.
Because if he gets in trouble, I'm right there.
Hello. Excuse me, office, cover me for 10 seconds, please.
You know, when he has those little, like, when we did a parade, the school parade, and
I remember, it was so cute.
The entire grade was just screaming his name. Do you know how special that boy felt? Because then the kid behind him was like,
Where's my shout out? Baby, we don't know you. We don't know you.
Another pro for me is decorating my room. I love the creativity. Me personally, having that control of what's going in my room, what wall, what are we doing? Are we doing like jobs? Where is that book gonna go? Like, I love having the power of even the feng shui. Like,
your room have the perfect feng shui.
Listen,
it is great.
I want a positive, not even a positive, because we listen. I hate the lights of the school. You know, there is a fact that they use the same lights as prisons. So 9 times out of 10, I turn off those lights. And I feel like I've started a trend, kind of.
You did. And I used to do it last year. I had Christmas lights last year. But, you know, certain schools, because they're so small, you got to share your room at different points of the day. They broke my Christmas lights. So I was like, and it was like really nice. I had fairy lights around, Christmas lights, and they broke it. So this year I went with LED lights and, you know, trial and error. But they love it. It's very mellow in the room. Those talkative students gets to calm down. It helps, you know, with ADHD when you change the tone in the class, the light tone.
It does. I feel like, you know, I started with the LED lights and then I transitioned into the backyard lights. Those are the lights that I use. And, you know, if your school does do volunteer hours, I highly recommend
reach out to the parents.
Reach out to the parents. Do an Amazon wish list. And if the kids really like you and they really, not if they like you, if they want like a good classroom and you're telling them, yo, I want to get you this, this, and this. I just need your parents to contribute. They will.
They will.
Because they want that in their classroom. And that's pretty much what I did. I did those background lights and it really mellows out just the vibe of the entire class because we're all on 1,000.
Yep. And you know what's another thing I do too? Last year, you remember how we got those JBL speakers? So they already know once that light goes on and those main lights go off, oh, what's the playlist for today? And so we will have music playing in the background. It helps the lights, the music. It's a vibe.
It's a feng shui.
Yeah,
you have to have a good feng shui.
That's how you manage your classroom.
How we have the control of that because what I hear from public schools, they don't really have that. And if they do, it's kind of very minimal.
It is. Because, you know, they're more governed.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I ain't doing that. Another one is bonuses from the school and the state. You're always guaranteed, especially if you stay in a school for a long period of time or even the next following year.
Yep.
They're going to give you a bonus. And if you guys meet that level of like being an A school, you're going to have that bonus too. And then sometimes, like our county we just had a bonus.
Yep.
So those are good things, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, guys. Just because we get bonuses does not mean that we could afford to live.
My favorite thing to tell the students is I'm broke for you. For me, because I'm single, no kids. I make just about enough to survive. But all the teachers who have kids or kids, my gosh.
Girl, I'm struggling now.
I know. I'm my car payment was like a kid, you know, $700 a month.
I just paid off my car.
Me too.
I just paid off my car, bro.
Me too. That's like a kid. So you had 2 kids.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That was a lie.
Yeah, but now since I paid off my kid, now when she breaks down, it's
Yeah.
a boy because he be telling me what to do. Now that he breaks down, it's a whopping $300, $400.
You know, 95 is the hood street, you know? So the other day I was driving, I had a whole mental breakdown because of this. Something scratched my car. And to get it fixed, so here's the thing, we make enough to barely survive. But for unexpected situations, that's where we don't make enough. We can't handle unexpected situations. We can't handle... That was a good thing. I don't know what's a good example, but we just...
When I first started teaching, I got, like, the year before I started teaching, I got T-boned, right? Oh. And my car, I was fine. My car was fine. But every single time I opened the door, there was a creaking sound.
I remember.
Right? I didn't have enough money, and I still don't have enough money. Thank God I know a friend that knows how to deal with cars.
Because that's one thing about us. We know we're friends. You have to have a friend.
I know a guy. Yeah. And that guy is one of the teacher's husband. And that's what, listen.
My first year, sad story, my driver door went open. So it's a Corolla thing. You know, Corolla go through some things. So my first car was a Corolla. It was old. It was a 03. Not 23, 03. Oh, so it was old.
That was 20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago. So I brought it to Tire Plus. This is why I don't fuck with y'all, okay? And I told them, hey, you know, the door is a little... It's a little fishy, so don't touch it, you know. Just save me the trouble and just crawl through the passenger side. Mm-hmm. Homie touched the door, and it got stuck. So the mechanism inside just fell completely. So I couldn't open the door at all. So my first year, I know. My first year, the whole year, I was struggling. I was riding around, and I would wait for everybody to go inside the building for me to climb through the passenger side to get out. It was sad. God. But then my mom knew a guy. A year later, $200 fixed it. Toyota tried to charge me $3,000 to fix it for a car from 2003.
I really hate that mechanics, and we're going all over the place, but I really hate mechanics. Yeah. They do a labor charge. And so you're doing a labor from a job that you have.
Yeah. That's how they make money. Mechanics make money.
We should do that.
I can't.
Do labor charge.
I can't.
No, as a teacher. We should have labor charge. First, emotional damage.
Entry fee.
I don't use every quarter. All right, so my last one is building connections with students and teachers. Because if I was never in this career, I would have never met you. I would have never met a lot of my wonderful friends. Mm-hmm. And even my wonderful students that, you know, you have those star students. If a teacher tells you they don't got a favorite,
it's a lie.
They're a lie.
It's a lie.
You a lie. And you are going to have your favorites. I have my favorites, and I have my favorites every year. 9 times out of 10, the kids be right when they be saying, but this is your favorite. I'm like, no.
So one year they caught me. So one year, 2 years ago, I had this group who begged me, like, please, we're not going to feel no type of way. Just tell us. So it had to be around March. Like, please, we're not going to feel no type of way. Just tell us.
They played you.
They played me. So I told them. One had a whole mental breakdown that I did not list her. And before I even came across naming the students, I was like, if I don't list you, it's not because I don't like you. It's because my favorites usually come from those who gave me a hard time in the beginning of the year, and I see how you transform. That's what makes you my favorite, because I see that actually influence you. I can rely on you. Yeah. Go do this for me. Go down the street and go. I don't do that.
I have this one student. She goes inside the faculty room every day. Can you please put in my lunch, please? You know what a refrigerator I like? She's like, yes, I know.
I had one every day. Go down to room 183 and get me some honey, or get me this, or get me that.
And they be with it. Listen, they will do it. They will do it because that's why I got that job.
Yeah,
in my messenger. Now, do you have any pro?
I have one. You named all of mine. So one I have that you did not mention was community impact. Because one thing I can say about a school is about teaching. If you see an area in need, you literally could try to like incorporate that into your lesson and attach it. So like how we have that school initiative, Lead with Love, like that is, it's really great to be able to lead a day with love. Or even how I do Feeding South Florida with the students. Last year we fed, well, we were 24, so we did fed about 10,000 families. That's and the beautiful. Year before we fed almost 20,000. So like the fact that they give me the day, and then it's a whole field trip. They give me the day to go to do that, and you're able to just make some type of impact. I have a project coming up.
But that even helps the kids to be less selfish and less about them, because then they see, oh my God, there are people out there that's like this. And my mom wasn't just talking about it. I actually see it. Yes. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And it's beautiful that you do that.
Yeah, and we do street cleanups too. So then that show them not to litter everywhere you go. And there's like, oh my gosh, the street's so dirty. So it's things like that. I love the job. I do. But it's majority of what outside of the teaching that I like. So
I like teaching. Well, I like my subject. It's my first year doing the subject. I love my subject. I think it's really just, for me, it's kind of the opposite. It's what's outside of teaching that I don't like. You know? So now we talked about the pros. We went a little everywhere. We give you a little spat of the bullshit. Now let's get into the bullshit. So one of the top thing is admin versus teacher. Now, wherever you go, you could have an amazing principal, an amazing vice principal, but when it boils down to it, and then you have a parent, and they have a parent in front of their face, or they have something in front of their face, they have to bring somebody down. And 9 times out of 10, you are going to be down. You are going to be the one they throw under the bus. They have to. You know, they have to, because teachers are the underdogs.
Right. But I figured it is definitely a bullshit. But what I've learned to do, and I think because I've adapted this skill in college, of paper trail. So whatever you do, paper trail. So when they do try to throw you under the bus, bitch, on January 17th at 3:00, I emailed you about this. So you can't really say I'm at fault, you're at fault. So I've been pulled into the office multiple times about parents trying to make me to be the bad one. Oh no, it always flip right back on them because of paper trail. Yeah. So that's a key for you if you feel like
that's why I always phone calls.
Yeah, I don't
do. And if I do
2 minutes max.
If I do parent teacher conference, it's on Zoom and I'm recording.
I like that.
I don't do in person, face to face, unless that parent's like, well, I need to see you, and that's the only option. I like to do Zoom. I like to do Zoom because it is another form of paper trail. Yeah. I could record this and we can talk about it.
You let them know you're recording?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it tells you too.
Nice.
You're about to be recorded.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that, because definitely me
and I don't want them in my face.
I don't either, but sometimes I guess they don't know how to use Zoom so much, so they want to do it face to face. And I'm down. That's cool. Whatever. But I'm going to write down every damn thing we talked about. And I'm going to say your response on that form. I'm going to say your response, my response, whatever. And you're going to sign it. Because what you're not going to do, and I had that situation this year, I had to pull that form right back out. Like, what are you talking about? We discussed this. You was on the same page. Like, where are we? So, it's the parents. I won't so much say it's admin versus teacher. Definitely teacher's going to get the heat. But it's so much the parents, and admin is afraid of the parents. For why? I don't know.
But then that makes it admin versus teachers. Because one is, it can't be teacher. It can't, I don't want it to be parents versus teachers. It's just a constant battle that I feel like with admin. And, I've been to many schools. And
So you're a school hoe. Hey man, where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Statistically, they say that you're supposed to stay in a school a maximum of 2 years.
It's not just schools; it's jobs in general. Yeah. And I'm starting to see that, because when I finished year 3, maybe because I started off year 4 a little late, I took that leave. I came back and I just see so much bullshit that I'm not, rocking with. So I think. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like, especially after COVID, I I thought before COVID, I thought when we were in COVID and the parents had to be with their kid,
they would learn.
And they were expressing how much they want the kids to go back and how much they, respect teachers. Once they came in, once we started on track again, and once we started doing anything, it just flipped. I feel like it got worse.
Because they were stuck with them for 2 years, I guess?
Yeah.
2 years. I feel like they just released them. They was like, get out my face. Because they definitely saw what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. But they threw them out there in the wind. Remember, some children started their first year in school was online. Mm-hmm. So they just threw them out, and now they're expecting us to be superhuman. Which brings me to the next bullshit, is the superhuman complex. And it's usually where you yourself think you're superhuman, superwoman, or whatever, and you could do it all, you could handle it, you could solve it. But I think it's vice versa now. I think it's the parents and even admin thinking we're superhuman. Little Billy can't sit down and focus. Todd is up here cursing out everybody. And you try to...
And you got Samantha not reading on the level that she
should, but it's
reading.
Our fault. Whereas the parents, at 3:30, that's your job. We put everything online that we went through in class. We put the materials, we put the notes, we put everything. There's no reason why.
And it's all online.
It's all online. You have this student edition book online.
You have the grades, online.
The activities online. You see, literally, just take that moment instead of going on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Take that moment and see what your student learned today. Because they don't do it, and they turn around and think, it's our fault. You should have been able to handle 85 plus students. In your case, 165. You should be able to reach all of them. We can only give the information.
And we can only teach those that want to be taught. Mind you, a lot of people are like, what? But you're teachers. I can't force anyone to learn. I can't force, and a lot of the kids, I can't threaten them and say, I'm going to call your parent. Because they are not afraid.
They're not.
So what am I supposed to do where I got Billy over here acting like he's a chimpanzee? I got Sam over there talking to his friend about ready to fight. And then I got Susie over here, can't do 2 + 2.
But could put makeup on.
And has the latest iPhone. And all of them are dressed very nice.
Have shoes? I don't.
And have book bags that are $100+, but they can't read.
You didn't have him? I had a student who had Yeezys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had all the shoes. He had Yeezys. He was on all the sports. But, he wasn't a problem. But that goes to show parents put the wrong focus on their children. And then when those state exams come out, and they're still on level 1, it's our fault. And I don't feel like that should be a reflection of what we do in the classroom.
And that comes next to my next con, which is why student scores have to reflect a teacher's evaluation. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know what that child ate the night before. Mm-hmm. You don't know the anxiety level that child has. They could have all the materials, everything in their mind, and then go blank.
Yep. Me, I'm not going to lie. I'm
like that.
And I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm a very articulate student. I'm very smart. Very smart. And if you give me something in a very creative way, I'm going to remember it. Mm-hmm. But as a kid, mom and pops always fought. And I feel like it was time FCAT, because, that was our time. It was always around FCAT time. And so whatever they had going on the night before, the next day I got to wake up and go read. I can't focus. No. So it's like, you can't really, it doesn't matter if now they're taking it 3 times a year. You don't know what's going on at home.
I feel like that gives them more stress, though.
It's more stress. Just me? Now they tell me now, they don't give a fuck about test 1 and 2. It's test 3. They know that matters. So that's what they're really trying
stressful,
for.
Especially when they do it before break.
Bump break, after break. Ain't nobody trying to come on Monday after winter break reading any story. 4 stories, 40 questions, write an essay.
But what kid before knowing Christmas is coming, the week of Christmas, and you're talking about, you need to do math, reading, and
science. And science.
Don't
forget science.
All in 1 week. I want you to do good now.
Yeah. Now, I think this year, we're doing it in April. I want to say, or May.
It's April.
Some. I think for you it's April. Me for writing, and I think civics for April. I don't know. But I do know reading fast is in May. Baby. May, I'm thinking summer.
And
once we hit May, I'm thinking summer.
And if you thinking it, teachers, your kids are thinking it. They thought it when April 1st came in.
Yep. Start taking the stuff down. Every week starting April, something's coming down. Because
after spring break, you lost them, really.
But when we were kids, we took FCAT in March.
Yeah.
We took it right before spring break. Like probably
even
2 weeks
in New York too. We took it after we came back from spring break, which was in March. And spring break was always early in March. Mm-hmm. So we will come back, we will have our spring break, and then we will have like roughly like a month and a half left of school. And honestly, we be bullshitting half of the time.
Because, that's when you're supposed to be
prepping for the next year.
Mm-hmm. Start doing those end of the year evals where you see, okay, you started off the year on level F. Are you on G now? Start things like that. And that's, I'm making sure you're ready for the next grade because
now that goes into expecting to work after contracted hours.
Ain't gonna do it.
That is a big bullshit. Mm-hmm. Because if you go to any other job, there's many jobs out there. Like if you're a manager, you gotta be on call. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that. I came in 7:15 in the morning with my tank at F. Yeah. By 3:30, my tank is at negative E. And you telling me you want me to stay?
We had a meeting and you said something that changed my outlook and I appreciate you for it. Right. Because when I first started teaching, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on it. Yes, do all this thing. Email on my phone. It was a sport. Pick up the phone, scroll, and then boom, I'm checking my work email. Why?
I don't.
Because you're not paying me to respond to emails at 9:00 at night. Why?
My email's not even on my phone. I would never have it on my phone. It's not even on my laptop. Because I'm not doing that.
First of all, I don't even take my laptop home. That thing is still charging.
Yeah.
It's still charging on the desk. It's probably still running. Who the fuck knows? Y'all don't pay me enough. $3.25 actually, because the rollover. That rollover time, $3.25. Get out my classroom. I gotta go. We have a teacher. You hear him? Get out!
Oh no! I feel you. That's right. The next one. That speaking of getting off on time and taking off. I want to talk about also the frowning upon taking PTO and taking off mental health. Because you don't have to tell them why you're taking off. And they will ask. You don't have to tell them. But if you do and you say it's mental health, bro.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
The superhuman complex. We're supposed to be able to handle everything. But by the way, future workers, let me tell you something. Future educators, I don't care what you're doing. PTO is what?
Prepare
the
others.
It is not asking, can I have this day off? No.
Oh, you have no more hours. Okay.
2 years ago, I wanted to go to Panama. Why Panama? I don't know. It was in March, May. I don't know. I want to go anywhere. Spin the globe. Where we going? Okay.
It's actually very nice.
It was nice. I loved it. So, it was a great view. My rooms oversaw the mountain that was far away. It was a great view. So, I put in my PTO request because my email always says, great day. Attached are my sub plans for this day, and this is my sub. That's that. I don't ask, hey, can I take... No. Great day. Attached is the sub plans. Here is the sub. Here's the contact information for this day. Mm. I had the principal at the time... responded to me, was like, hey, you don't have enough PTO hours, I know. She's like, I just want to make sure, you're not going to get paid for it. I know. And what is...
they're acting like we're going to be like, oh, snap. I'm not going to go.
Ma'am, the ticket was been booked, okay? It was booked and paid for.
That's one thing you got to do, guys. Book everything, buy everything, and then request off. Because then you're going to say, hey, everything is booked.
Yeah, even if it's not booked. Because I always pay for my hotel when I get there. Because you really just don't know what's going to happen.
Schedule now, pay later.
Yeah, schedule now, pay later. You don't know what's going to happen. And it's not going to be because of work. I don't give a doggone hootenanny, which I got going on. They try to take my sub. It was like, did you confirm with the sub? Ma'am, here's my paper trail. Because one thing about me, I'm going to have my paper trail. And I still got my day, lived it up in Panama. And they want to ask me why I want it off. I'm going to Panama. And I'm going to tell you why I'm taking these days off. Because what you're not going to do is tell me I can't. I don't care.
Unless it's like, and that leads me to blackout days. Why do we have days that we cannot take off?
Because they don't want us to have too much time off. I'm taking them days. Like this Monday is a blackout day. Who got it? I'm taking it off.
Because sometimes you have to, and what I hate, like, there was one time in another school, right? I took off 3 days a week before spring break. Mm-hmm. The principal was like, well, why are you taking off? And I'm like, because it's my birthday and I'm going somewhere. Well, can you just wait until spring break and just celebrate them? No. Bitch, my birthday is now. I'm going to take off. And then she's like, well, you only got 1 day. And what? Why is this inconvenient for you that I'm taking off? Just get a sub. That's why we have subs.
That's another con.
And there's not a lot of
It's
subs.
not a... Where are the subs? Where's the subs?
Who would like to deal with kids that's not theirs, knowing that you're not going to get the respect that you deserve?
Oh, see, me... So I've been in the field for a while. After aftercare, I started subbing for Broward County. One thing about me, baby.
And two things for sure.
I'm going to write down those sub plans on the board. Pop these headphones in. I don't give a fuck what's going on for the rest of the day. Just don't hurt each other. Because it's not my grade. Don't hurt each other. And don't come up and disrespect me. Just do you. You can't have headphones. Do you. Because what I'm not going to do is put myself in a predicament to get cursed out. To get that chair thrown at me. None of that.
And then that leads me to another con, which is student violence. It has been a lot. Student violence and becoming a human shield. I feel like both of them, like, you're either going to get socked in your face by a student and you can't do nothing because if you react, you lose your license and you go to jail. And you become a human shield because of all these school shootings. And then we have these drills and they tell you, yeah, you gotta be in front of the door like this with something heavy. Girl! And then you got my son down 3 hallways. I'm gonna go to him.
I tell these kids all the time, when we do these drills, please act like it's real. So you gotta know, because what Miss Me ain't gonna do is get over y'all. I ain't gonna do it. The moment I hear that alarm go off, this is not a drill. All right, I'm out. I quit. Because I can't. I'm sorry.
You can't force anybody to do that. Too. You can't. It's fight
or flight.
I'm gonna flight to my son and fight if I need to, and then flight.
Because according to the contract, you read your contract. It never said you got to do it. It's expected.
And that's the superhuman. Another one, right? There's actually a few more. Evaluation. Teacher observation. Where admin comes in for your classroom. A lot of the times it's between 2 to 5 minutes and they grade you and they observe you. And it affects your license. If they tell you, oh, these are low, these are fine, it won't affect, everything affects you. Yes. That they do. Because they have to put it in a portal that you can see that affects your license.
Do you read them?
Yeah, no, I see the scores. And honestly, even with these observations, I don't read them anymore.
I don't.
Because I know as a teacher, I'm doing the best I can. And if it's not good enough, I see my kids' faces that I teach every day, that I'm with every day, and they seem fulfilled. They seem like they're getting it and they're learning it. And yes, some of them are not passing, but majority of them, I can see that they like what I'm doing, what I'm teaching them,
and they understand, and they
respect me, and they understand.
Because that teach back that we usually do, or the exams they got to take, they pass it. No, not all of them pass it, but they do. So that 1 minute, I've experienced where they've been in my class for 1 minute, and I feel like that was the last review I read or eval I read, because it was literally, I looked at my watch.
I didn't get that.
And wow,
she didn't get that.
She didn't get it either, because I looked at the watch, and then by the time they walked out, it was still the same minute. It was still the same time.
And honestly, I say that this is a bullshit, because for the teachers coming in, please do not put that in. Do a grain of salt. Do not take it too hard. Do not take it personally. A lot of them score you low in the beginning so they can score you high at the end. For growth, to show growth. But honestly, even if you're low in the end, if they rehire you, you did something right. Or they just need you. But at the end of the day, that if you did everything you can as a teacher, you are doing fine and you get an A+. You get a star.
Yep. And do your research, because some of these people who's doing the evaluations, when they were in your exact same shoe, they was getting worse than you. Do your research and you will see.
Yeah. So. Just also another one that I feel like is total bullshit is talking about your pay.
Why can't we? Because, you know,
a lot of schools don't like when other teachers, like if you get a bonus, if you get something, you can't talk about it. And that's actually legal for you to talk about your pay, right? Your bonuses. You know, I want us to be more comfortable with that, because if I'm talking to her about my pay, about the bonus I have, and we kind of have the same things, and the math is not mathing, that could also help you know what you need to fight for.
And you need to fight, because what I'm starting to realize, some states, like Ohio, they are on the same, like that's one line, one mind. Ohio, they strike together over their pay. Texas, I don't know what they did, but they got their starting teacher pay to $68K.
I know. I saw it. I seen it.
And their cost of living
is much lower than
It's much lower. You can find you a nice little mansion. A nice little mansion for $300K.
And we over here struggling. Another one that I have is, there's actually two more that is total bullshit, right? When you get into this position, right? If people see you outside of the position, they're going to ask you, aren't you a teacher?
When you see me, act like you don't. That's what I tell my students, because listen, from 7:30 to 3:25, I am Miss So-and-so. You don't need my last name. Miss So-and-so. When you see me at 3:39, act like you don't, because I done spent all day with y'all. I don't need to see you. I done talked to your parents all doggone day. Y'all don't see me. Let me be me. Let me do me.
You know, I saw one of my students maybe a year ago, and I was in BJ's, bro. I was in BJ's. And my friends that know me, y'all know me, I always show skin. If it's warm enough, I'm going to show me some skin. So I was in BJ's with my little cart, with my son in the front, getting some bread, and I see my student. I see a student. And I see the mom chugging along, coming to me, and I'm like,
ma'am,
hello?
Mind your business.
Excuse me. And she's like, do you work at this school? And I'm like, who's asking? Why are you dressed like that representing my school?
Ma'am, your child goes to the school. Why should let this represent the school? Because I bet her hair was not done.
Don't be mad because I got booty and you don't.
Who got booty in the trunk?
I had my booty. I was shopping for groceries.
On your day off.
It was a Saturday.
Bro.
Like, it's not even on the contracted day. And,
Lord.
but you're gonna come across this because, it's a pro and a con to work near your home.
You don't do it. Don't do it. I think
I do it because it's more convenient. But then you're going to run into some kids. But even if you're far away, you don't know where these kids hang out.
Yep.
So you can run into them. And if you don't look the way you normally do, and they're with their parents, I bet you they're going to complain. And then they're going to come to the school. And they did come to the school. And they asked. And I was like, an admin friend asked me about the situation, and I was like, I'm gonna just stop you right there. It was a Saturday, and I walked away.
And that's that. I went to the promenade, having me some drinks on a Friday, for Saturday, who knows what fucking day it was. And I was drinking, and I see across the street, I was like, yo, that look like a student. But I forewarned the students, when you see me, act like you don't. She failed the assignment because she surely did come up to me with her brother with the drink in my hand, and she's like, hi, and I looked at her, hey, and her brother caught the gist and made her walk away. And then, like, a couple of days later, she comes back. She was like, oh, you were standoffish when I saw you. You failed the assignment. I told you, when you see me, act like you don't. You failed. Let this be a lesson moving forward.
Am I supposed to act like I'm excited to see you?
Because I'm not. Because I am not. But I have one.
And that's going to be a problem that you can run into. So I highly recommend you just staying calm, not getting defensive. And also, if admin does approach you about the situation, it is on non-contracted hours. You are a person at the end of the day. Your job is teaching. It's not who you are.
Yep.
Right? And also, I feel like a really big, and I won't say it's a bullshit, it's more like a con, is bringing work home. That took me so long not to do, bringing work home. Lesson plan is another thing, but even doing a lesson plan, do it at the end of Friday. Do it on Thursday. Try to do it within your contracted hours.
Use your planning.
Use your planning. Or just stay one day out of that week and stay a little longer to finish that. But don't be doing that over the weekend. And don't bring in your grades. Don't do that. Use your past students. And if you don't have any past students, break that up. Break up that grading or the lesson plans, because that took me 3 to 4 years to really understand that I need to stop bringing work home.
In my bachelor's, my first 2 years in my bachelor's, I was taking up ESC. And I had this one professor, Dr. Merritt, heart, if you see this. She told us, don't take work home, whatever. And she said in like the first 10 minutes of class, do your quick grading. Last 10 minutes of class with, block 1, whatever, start the grading. First 10 minutes of block 2, put the grades in. Because, you're going to have them do their exit tickets, their do nows. That's the time you put in your grades. Use that time. And I was like, okay. Now that I'm in the field, I'm like, yo, this is legit. Because I'm not taking that home. I have a friend who take her grading home every day. Every day. And I'm like, girl, you must love your job.
No, but honestly, you will do it. You will do it because you feel overwhelmed. Because you get that high stack of papers and then you're starting to get overwhelmed. Or, don't be that teacher that waits until the end of the quarter to start putting in grades. Yep. So it's regardless, you have to do your lesson plans, and regardless, you have to grade. Just don't try to do it outside of your contracted hours. And if you do, let it be a little later after your contracted hours or before your contracted hour day. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. And the last one for me is that there is no teacher union in private and Catholic schools. Now, unions is basically a corporation or a group of people that support the teachers. that makes sure that the schools are doing what they need to do to help the teachers, that they're not doing anything against the law, that they are not overworking them or underpaying them. Charters and private schools do not have that.
And I feel like although charter and private schools don't have that, I think when the county itself does have it, and they put something in, maybe I'm wrong, I could possibly be wrong, but for Broward County, I feel like that union fought so hard for that that bonus they got, that it affected private and charter schools. Yeah. So because of, I guess, the governor ended up getting involved, who knows, whatever. But I feel like it depends on the situation that's going into effect, that it may benefit. It is not a high possibility that it does, but it may benefit a charter and private. So it's still bullshit that they don't got one.
Do you have any other cons or bullshit that you would like to share?
I think we covered most of them. I don't know if we mentioned a heavy workload.
No, we didn't.
It's like 10 jobs in one. You're a therapist. You're a mom.
Oh my God, these meetings.
The meetings, you could do it on Zoom if you need to, if it's necessary. Those staff meetings could be on Zoom. Could be an email. Like, we already spent 8+ hours. 8 hours with the kids feels like, it's actually 6 hours, I think, with the kids, 6.5.
It feels more than that.
It feels more than that, exactly.
And it's because of all the extra things. And it's not only the faculty meeting. It's the meeting with, you have your CRT meeting. You have your ESOL meeting. You have your enrichment meeting. You have your staff meeting. You have your grade meeting. You have the meeting with the RTI people. You have so many meetings that could be
an email. And then we deal with so much different personalities.
I have 165 personalities.
165 she got. I got 85 personalities. 30 at a time. So, like, it's already a heavy workload. You're a teacher. You're a social worker. You're a parent. You're a therapist. You're a chef, because they come to you hungry. So now you got to feed them. You got to do this.
I know.
You got to entertain them. So you're an entertainer.
I'm an entertainer.
You're a project manager. You're doing so much, and then you're dealing with the 30 different personalities. And then that's when they want to throw you into this meeting that could have been an email. So what feels like 6.5 hours dealing with the kids, just the kids, turns out feeling like you did 12 hours with the kids. Yeah. And then now you want to throw in all these extra meetings. So now you got different personalities with the adults during these meetings. You got teachers who ask questions like, girl, now you know the answer. Why? Because now you know Abby ain't going to take another 30 minutes explaining that.
I'm not even going to lie, I'm that teacher.
She is that teacher.
I am that teacher answering questions. You know why? Because I'm going to ask you those stupid ass questions, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make you laugh, because I'm going to ask these questions because you're wasting my time, so I'm going to waste your time.
So I get it, but it's just like, the trainings, the unnecessary trainings. I know not to wear the school logo on my shirt and go to a strip club. I know not to post on social media where I work at. Why are we in an all-day training about that? I know not to touch these kids. Well, I do. Some people don't know.
No, we know. I would like more so a meeting on how to do, like, why can't we have a meeting on about effectively doing centers? Effectively doing the center, or how to discipline a child effectively, or how to use your time better. I would like those meetings.
I think of the 4 years I've been teaching, I had one training. Now, there's many trainings, but I feel like I've had one training that was like 4 hours long, okay? But within 30 minutes of that training, I got the most information I would ever get about centers.
Really?
And from that one meeting, it's like I used to complain to my CRT all the time, like, I don't know how to do centers. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's working. But out of that 4-hour training, that 30 minutes they spent on centers, it flipped the switch for me, and I got it. But now we still got to go through that training. So now it's a wasteless 4-hour training.
It's a lot. But I don't want this to discourage people that want to come into the teacher career. I just want you to be open-minded, and I want you to know that these are the possible things that you can run into, right? But with all the chaos and all of... Oh, one more thing. Your energy. Do not bring that home.
Coming home and take a nap, you might need to do. You're definitely
a nap.
A nap, or sometimes I walk. I walk it off because you will have that one.
It's a lot of energy you're bringing in, and it's a lot of energy you're pouring out.
Yes, and then that one student could just, your cup was already empty, and the student just broke that cup at that point, and you just walk it off. So sometimes I walk it off, and it with my uniform still on, but.
We have to, but I wouldn't trade these years of me teaching for the world.
I learned a lot.
I would not. I right now I don't really see anything out there that interests me
because the 195 days. That's the problem.
And honestly, I love interacting, and I love that I'm interacting with kids because kids, honestly, they're hilarious.
Oh,
they're so funny, and they keep me youthful. You know, they're just so, especially when you get their respect.
Yes.
They, you become their second mom.
Yeah.
And I truly enjoy it. Sometimes I enjoy coming to school, and sometimes I don't. But I really, if you create your room the way you want to, if you set that foundation in your classroom, you're going to enjoy being in your classroom. I'm not saying you enjoy going in the building, but I enjoy my classroom. And I know you do too.
I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy the outside more.
That's what we also, listen, for lunch, what we started doing is actually going outside and eating. Because when you're, and that's a pro for our school.
Yes.
And going outside and eating for that 20 minutes, we also, with that 20 minutes, it's not a lot of time, but, we go outside and we eat and we kind of just bask in just being outside, not being cooped up in a room all day, really helps, and it could really make a difference in your day.
It does, because you get that throughout the day. You don't get a lot of adult interaction, so during your break, your planning and
adults
your lunch,
that you like,
positive adults.
Please
stay positive.
Positivity, please.
No negative Nancy's, please, because it is draining
already.
Yeah.
So, I want to end this episode, this amazing, beautiful episode. I had my first host, and I'm so happy that it was my role. So, I'm going to leave the question with, what is your pros and bullshit in working at a school? Let it go. Release it. Let us know. Interact with us. I really would like to know. And that concludes our 4th episode on Everything Under the Sun. Bye, guys.